Good morning. As the sun rises over quiet lakes, snowy mountains, and busy city streets, a new day begins. In this moment, before the noise of the world enters the mind, we are given a rare gift, awareness. How we speak to ourselves in these early moments shapes not only the day, but the direction of our life. Each morning, there are 5 powerful truths you must gently remind yourself of. First, this breath is enough. Before chasing goals, before remembering worries, notice the breath. It arrives on its own, asking nothing. Life does not begin with effort. It begins with presence. When you remember this, anxiety loosens its grip. In the stillness of a Canadian morning, whether in a small town or a crowded subway, peace is already here. Second, I do not need to control everything. Like the changing seasons, life moves according to causes and conditions. Snow melts, leaves fall, plans shift. Resistance creates suffering, acceptance creates freedom. Tell yourself, I will act wisely, but I release what I cannot command. Third, kindness is my true strength. In a world that often rewards speed and competition, choose gentleness. Kindness toward yourself and toward others is never weakness. It is clarity. When you meet the day with compassion, even difficult encounters become teachers. Fourth, this moment will not return. Yesterday is a memory, tomorrow a thought. Only now is real. When you drink your coffee, just drink. When you walk, just walk. Life becomes rich not by adding more, but by fully arriving where you are. Fifth, I'm growing even when I cannot see it. Growth is quiet. Like roots beneath frozen ground, change happens unseen. Trust the process. Every challenge refines understanding. Every mistake carries wisdom. Tell yourself, I am learning, I am becoming. As this day unfolds, carry these truths lightly. Let them guide your words, your actions, and your silence. When you speak to yourself with awareness each morning, the world responds differently, not because it has changed, but because you have. Thank you. Here are 5 clear key points from the speech. Ground yourself in the breath and the present moment before engaging with worries or plans. Practice acceptance over control. Recognize that not everything can be controlled, and peace comes from accepting change. Choose kindness as strength. Treat yourself and others with compassion, even in challenging situations. Live fully in the present moment. Focus on what is happening now, rather than dwelling on the past or future. Trust your inner growth. Understand that personal growth happens quietly over time, even when it's not immediately visible. Before the day asks anything of you, before the mind begins to run toward responsibilities, worries, or expectations, there is a brief and precious moment that belongs only to awareness. This is the moment of waking, when the body is alive with breath and the world has not yet fully entered your thoughts. In this moment, nothing needs to be achieved, nothing needs to be fixed. The simple act of being present is already complete. When you allow yourself to notice the breath, how it rises without effort and falls without instruction, you reconnect with something steady and reliable. The breath does not rush. It does not judge the past or plan the future. It simply exists, and in doing so, it invites you to do the same. Presence at the beginning of the day is not about forcing calm or emptying the mind. Thoughts will appear, as they always do, but presence means seeing them without being carried away by them. When the mind says, I am already behind, or today will be difficult, presence responds with gentle observation rather than resistance. You notice the thought, acknowledge it, and return to the breath. This small act creates space. In that space, anxiety loosens and clarity quietly takes its place. You realize that you do not have to solve your entire life before breakfast. You only need to be awake to this moment. As the morning light fills the room, presence allows you to experience life directly instead of through constant mental commentary. The feeling of your feet touching the floor, the cool air on your skin, the simple sound of the world coming alive, these ordinary sensations become grounding anchors. They remind you that life is happening now, not later when everything is perfect. When you begin the day this way, you are no longer immediately pulled into habits of worry or regret. You are rooted, and from that rootedness, your actions become more intentional. Presence also changes the way you relate to time. Instead of seeing the day as a long list of tasks to survive, you begin to experience it as a series of moments to meet. Each moment asks only for attention, not perfection. When attention is given fully, even simple actions carry a sense of meaning. Drinking a warm cup in the morning, walking outside, or sitting quietly for a few breaths becomes an act of care rather than a rushed transition. This care sets the tone for how you will move through the rest of the day. When challenges arise, and they always do, presence becomes a refuge. Instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You feel the breath again. This pause may last only a second, but it is enough to prevent the mind from being overwhelmed. From presence, you respond rather than react. Your words become calmer, your choices wiser. You discover that strength is not found in constant effort, but in steady awareness. Beginning the day with presence is also an act of kindness toward yourself. It acknowledges that you are human, not a machine designed to perform endlessly. By allowing yourself to arrive fully in the morning, you send a quiet message inward. There is time, there is space, and you are allowed to exist without proving anything. This message softens the inner voice that demands more and more, and in its place grows a sense of quiet confidence. Over time, this practice changes how you experience life. Days feel less rushed, even when they are busy. Difficult moments feel less overwhelming, even when they are intense. You begin to trust that no matter what the day brings, you can return to the breath and find stability there. Presence becomes not just a morning habit, but a way of living. Each morning, when you remind yourself to begin with presence, you are choosing to meet life as it is, not as the mind fears it might be. You are choosing awareness over distraction, calm over chaos, and reality over illusion. In this simple choice, made again and again, lies a quiet but powerful transformation.